Hello and welcome. My name is Tiffany Reed. I'm a regional vice president, executive regional vice president from Tulsa, Oklahoma, and my background is in nursing. And my story with the Arbonne 30 Days to Clean Eating is that I didn't do it for a year and a half. I'm not like most people. I was super stubborn. Plus, I'm very pharmaceutically trained, which the majority of our medical community is trained that way as well. So I thought that this was a bunch of hogwash, but I saw so many people go through it and it changed their lives, their daily quality of life, their energy levels, their health. There was so many changes in the people that I saw do it that I couldn't argue with it. So I jumped in and thank goodness that I did. So what this Arbonne 30 Days to Healthy Living program is a few things. It's a 30-day jump start to a healthier lifestyle. It's not a fad diet. There's no calorie counting. There's no points to count or anything like that. We're just going to teach you how to live a healthy lifestyle and to navigate the food supply changes that have happened in the last 20 years. Our food supply is not the same as it was, and they started genetically modifying food in 1995. And one of the root problems is that our farmers are paid to grow corn and soy. And so that's what a lot of them grow. They grow so much of it, we can't even get rid of all of it. And it's everywhere. And it's almost all genetically modified. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in a little bit. But that's one of the things that it helps us do too. And just like changing the oil in your car, we have to detox our bodies. We're exposed to stuff all the time that we do not want sticking around in our system. This program also helps us reveal foods that are sabotaging our health and our weight, and so we can help reset our metabolisms and be able to function the way that we're supposed to. So I will tell you, and if you see me looking over here, it's because I'm reading my script. So you don't have to be even in the medical community to help teach people about this or learn about it yourself, so don't worry. But the average weight loss for a woman that goes to this program, and this is not a weight loss program, this is just a side effect of what we're doing, the changes that we're making, is usually between 7 and 12 pounds. The average man, it's not even fair, especially for us, but loses 15 plus pounds over the course of 30 days. And we have increased energy and focus. It decreases our cravings too. That's probably one of my favorite parts about it. So this is how you can see that you need to detox. And I have actually posted a flyer, like a picture on our page that helps you go through all of the different things that say if you need to detox or not. But these are just a few of them. Acid reflux, anxiety, dark circles underneath your eyes, bloating, anger issues, hot flashes, irritable bowel, all sorts of autoimmune disorders. All of these are symptoms that your body needs to get rid of toxins that are hanging around in it. And a toxin is just basically anything that your body cannot use as a nutrient. So we get exposed to them through our food supply from pesticides. We get, stuff that you put on your skin gets in your bloodstream. So if you're not using Arbonne skincare and health care products, like personal care products, you're absorbing all the chemicals that are in all of those things. And those industries are not regulated in our country. So there's really nobody telling them what shouldn't go in and what can go in. And all of it is ending up in our systems. So there's also a picture that I posted a minute ago that kind of gives a visual of how this works, because toxins are stored in our fat cells. God was really smart, and he realized if we couldn't keep up with all the toxins, we couldn't filter them out fast enough, they had to be stored somewhere that was going to protect our vital organs. So fat is where they go. So when people try to lose weight, by whatever way that they're trying to lose weight, a magic product, all the exercise in the world, starving themselves to death, whatever it is, if they don't address their toxin load, there is a biological reason for them to need to gain that fat back. So this is like the whole yo-yo that our country has been on. They lose weight, gain it back, lose weight, gain it back. And they are just beating themselves up because they feel like it's their fault. And there's a biological reason that happens. So our filtering organs are kind of like a bathtub drain. This is the way that we like to explain it. So if you've got toxins coming in, you've got the bathtub faucet just going away, and your drain is small and it can only drain so much, and sometimes it's gunked up with hair and stuff like that. what we're going to do is we're going to help clear the drain, and then we're going to turn down the faucets so that we're not having an overflow of toxins and we're having all these symptoms that we're not supposed to have. So, most of us don't even know how good we're supposed to feel. And that's what I will say. After going through this program, I found so many foods that made me feel so bad, and I didn't even know because I was doing it every single day. So big deal. Okay, so we do this in 3 steps. And the first thing that we do is we teach you to eat clean. And all that basically means is we're helping decrease the toxins that are going in through your food supply. So we teach you how to buy meat correctly, which is, and one of the examples that I love to give is, cows are supposed to eat grass, but in our country, a lot of them are fed grains. And guess what? Grains are super cheap. Those grains that the farmers are getting paid to raise, which is all a bunch of genetically modified stuff. And so that's what they're feeding our livestock, and their stomach isn't made to break that down. And they're actually making a new form of E. coli in their stomach just to try to break it down. And it was contaminating meat, and it was killing people. So the solution to a lot of the, what they're doing with a lot of the ground meats is some places will actually rinse that meat in ammonia to get rid of the bacteria and re-dye it and sell it to us. And that's what we're eating. That's what we're feeding our children. That's what we're getting in restaurants. Like, we just have to know, because our government is not protecting us in any of these areas. So it's our job and our duty to help protect ourselves. Just because it's on the grocery store shelf does not mean that it serves our bodies. So this is super important. So we teach you those things. We teach you about how to buy meat correctly, because you can have meat on this. A lot of people think you have to be vegan to be healthy. That's not necessarily true. We teach you how to buy produce correctly too. You do not have to spend your whole paycheck buying organics. There's a lot of things that you do want to buy organic, but there's some of them you can save your money on, like an avocado. You can buy that at Walmart. You can buy it conventional, because they do not use a lot of pesticides when they grow avocados, because the bugs can't get through the skin. So things like that we're going to teach you so that you really know about your food supply, which carbohydrates you can have that serve your body. There are lots and lots of diets out there right now that say that there are no carbohydrates that are good for you. That is nonsense. There's some of them that do serve your body. We teach you which fats are good for you and which ones you need to get out of your kitchen. There's a lot, and there's a lot to know. So you learn all of that during this process, and it's actually a skill set that you can take from here through the rest of your life. You'll be able to know how to read labels, you'll be able to know how to overcome marketing, and you'll be able to have a new set of skills to cook and to use in your kitchen. So, okay, so then we eliminate foods that are acidic, allergenic, and addictive. And these are foods that don't serve us. And I don't even like to say eliminate anymore, because really we're exchanging them. We're exchanging foods that don't serve us for foods that do serve us. And so one of them is refined sugar. I mean, I'm sure we know why that doesn't serve us, but there are some sugars that you can have. It's just the slower burning sugars, and we teach you all about that. And it's so addictive. It's almost like some of the studies they've done about like what part of the brain that it triggers. I mean, it's almost as addictive as heroin. So it's a big deal, and it's a big deal to overcome. Artificial sweeteners. There are a lot of people that feel, and there's a lot of the medical community that even teaches this, that artificial sweeteners are better for you. If you get off of this video and don't listen to anything else that we say, do not use artificial sweeteners. They know how bad they are for us. Like the FDA, I watched a documentary about how aspartame got passed by the FDA, and they knew it was a neurotoxin. It's linked to over 90 medical conditions, including like ADHD, asthma, all sorts of things. They know it's terrible for us. It's not good. We use stevia, which we've been using since way before it was the cool thing to do, and we'll talk more about that in a little bit. Okay, this one was really hard for me. Dairy. Okay, I love cheese, I love butter. This is part of the reason I didn't do this for a year and a half. We've been taught since we were children that we need milk for calcium, and it's just not true. We are the only species that drinks milk after infancy. much less a different species milk. So it causes a lot of inflammation in our system. If some people have figured it out that they have problems with milk. I had no idea. I ate cheese several times a day, every single day, and so I hadn't had the opportunity to realize how bloated I get when I try dairy. There are all sorts of alternatives. You can do almond milk, coconut milk, and there's twice the amount of calcium in a cup of spinach as there is. And, a buffalo doesn't drink milk, and his bones are super strong. So it's just a way to shift our thinking. Plus, there's all sorts of gross stuff in dairy, like there's pus. There's actually levels of pus that are allowed in milk because, when they mass produce dairy, the cows that get infections, mastitis, they continue to milk them. So some states have higher levels of pus that are acceptable than others. California has a lower one than most of the rest of the United States. So it's actually pretty disgusting. So we'll just go with that. Whey protein. I don't know if you know someone that uses whey protein, but all it is the water from the cheese making process. So it separates out into curds and whey. We used to sing about it when we were kids, and they used to throw that water out. They figured out how to dry it out and make money from it. And that's why you see whey protein everywhere. It's also why it doesn't taste very good, is because it's cheese water. And if you have any questions, you should look it up on the Mayo website, because it does all sorts of things to our bodies that it doesn't serve us whatsoever. And so that's why I posted earlier some pictures of some bodybuilders that, a lot of them feel like whey is the best way to get protein. It's just not current information. So super big deal. Okay, gluten. I had someone ask me, they said, why all of a sudden is everyone having these issues with gluten? We've been eating wheat for hundreds of years. That's true. The thing is, the wheat is not the same. So they do not genetically modify wheat, but they crossbreed wheat. So gluten is the sticky part of the wheat grain, and it used to be about 5% of the wheat grain. Well, they needed a wheat that they could process faster, bag, and be ready to go in just a few hours. So they crossbreed it so that some of the wheats are up to 50% gluten. And that's why people are having so many problems, is because our bodies are not made to process that. So it's linked. There's a book on it called Wheat Belly that says that 2 slices of wheat toast actually spike your blood sugar higher than a Snickers bar. So we're going to talk about that in a second too. But it's linked to focus issues, migraines, ADHD, asthma too. So there's lots of things that are going on with it. And if you've never eliminated it from your diet, you have no idea how you could feel. When I reintroduced this, after eliminating it for a while, I truly felt like I had the flu in about 15 minutes. And I thought, oh my gosh, my whole body has had this much inflammation in it every single day. And I had no idea because I ate it all the time. So such a big deal. Soy. Okay, we've been marketed that soy is a healthy alternative to dairy. It's simply not true. This is one of the biggest things. It's one of the most highly genetically modified crops, first of all. So the company that makes Roundup, like the poison for weeds in your yard, also figured out how to genetically modify soy so it could be sprayed with Roundup and not die. So they spray those fields like crazy. And then another problem with soy is it's really acidic. The last problem, and I think is one of the biggest problems with soy, is that it mimics estrogen in our body. So they're called phytoestrogens. And I saw a paper one time from a university in Colorado. They were studying how much of that was in different foods, and 3 ounces of soybean oil, so not a ton, 3 ounces, it had the same amount of estrogen mimicking properties as 3.5 high-powered birth control pills. And I want you to think about all of the different things that are going on in our society. Our girls are developing earlier. There are all these female cancers. Men are having tons of impotence issues. There's just so much going on. And there's so much soy because that's what the farmers are growing. They can't get rid of it. It's in everything. That's what they're frying. Almost anything that you eat out in a restaurant is what vegetable oil is. It's either soy or corn. It's everywhere. It's in 80% of processed foods. So get it out of your house. That's what I'm going to say about that. Okay, coffee and alcohol. So I know it's the holidays, but that's why January's here to save us. Coffee, it's highly addictive and it's extremely acidic, which we'll talk about here in a second, why that is so important. But they also have microfunguses that grow on them that actually make it into your cup. I thought surely that hot water would kill it. Not necessarily the case. So just for 30 days, and I've had the most avid coffee drinkers get on the other side of this with very little pain, and then their palate changes, and sometimes they're not even, I mean, a lot of them don't even want coffee anymore after that, and they don't walk around all day feeling gross from the coffee mouth. Alcohol, I don't know if you guys have found out the hard way, but it is a poison, but it's got a lot of gluten and sugars that are in it as well. So just for 30 days, there's a way to get through it. So we also eliminate corn and potatoes because they have a bunch of, they spike your blood sugar really high, and corn is super highly genetically modified. Some of them are modified so they kill the worms when they eat it. So, and that's what they're feeding our livestock and all sorts of stuff, you know, like I was talking about earlier. And then potatoes, they spray those fields with chemicals to help keep them from sprouting eyes. And they're just not good for you. So sweet potatoes are permissible, so that's what we're going to exchange that for. Okay, so why is acidity super important? Well, I was taught that your body regulates your body pH, and it's true to an extent. If your diet is extremely acidic, you're going to be way over, like, on the acidic side of things. And the things that thrive in an acidic environment are bacteria, viruses, and cancer cells. And I don't know about you guys, but that is not something that I want thriving in my body. So this is especially important for people that have had cancer before and are really concerned because they don't ever want it to come back. Because if you have a more alkaline state in your body, those cells do not thrive in that environment. So that's super important. Okay, balancing your blood sugar. So a lot of people will eat a very, like in our country, they don't realize that don't have energy all day long. And so what happens is a lot of people will eat a high carb, high sugar breakfast in the morning, high caffeine. And what happens is, as a society, because we eat too much sugar, our pancreas overproduces insulin. So what happens is you eat something like that for breakfast, you have a super high spike in your blood sugar, you get all this insulin that's released, and then a few hours later, you're feeling tired, you're feeling grumpy, feel like you need caffeine, and, you know, maybe you need a snack. You do not need a snack, you just ate. You're having symptoms of low blood sugar. And that's what happens again after lunch. That's why everybody wants to take a nap in the afternoon. So this is happening all day long for people, and they don't understand why they don't have consistent energy. And I will say that is probably the number one thing that people report to me that go through this, is that they have the most energy sometimes for the first time in their whole life. So super important, because we need to be our best. We've only got one of these lives to live, so super important. Okay, so how we get through this process. Because a lot of people listen to all this and they're like, you people are nuts. I don't have time for that. How could I possibly be able to fit that into my busy life and schedule? That's where Arbonne comes in. So we have products that help you get through the learning process, because listen, if we gave you all these guidelines and just like let you go with a shopping list, and you had to go to the store and buy all these groceries, and you had to spend all this time preparing all this food that you may not be used to preparing, how long do you think people would last? Because there's usually a big gap between what people know to do and what people actually are putting into place in their life. And that is where Arbonne helps close this gap. So what happens is, when you get in this group to learn all these things, to create a new lifestyle for yourself, you get in a Facebook page that teaches you that gives you like all this information. These are not rules to follow. There are reasons why this stuff doesn't serve you. And when you learn it, it makes it so much easier to not want what those foods are doing to your system. You know, it's not more about a rule to follow. It's more about, oh my gosh, that doesn't serve me. I do not want that in my system. So it makes it so much easier, especially if you're a person like me and you're kind of a rule breaker, because that's what I was. So you get in there, you get all your education, you get your meal plans, you get your shopping lists. All that stuff is so simple, and all you have to like think about is one meal a day. You get to have snacks, so don't panic. But that's all you're thinking about is one meal a day. So this is how you get through the day. These are vegan protein shakes. This one's my chai bag, which if you've got a consultant that can teach you how to get this, you got to ask him because I love it. But vanilla and chocolate are our staples, which are so great because you can mix those with just about anything and get just about whatever flavor combination you want. What I love about it is it has 20 grams of vegan protein, and it's the fastest 20-second like meal on the planet. Like, it's faster than a drive-through, it's faster than a vending machine, it's faster than anything. You put that powder in your shaker cup, add some water, shake it. Like, you can totally do that so fast. It's the best fast food, best breakfast for your kids. Now, if you want to get fancy and put all this stuff in a blender, you totally can do that too. That's not how I like to do things, but you totally can. So make them completely delicious. Breakfast for your whole family in 2 minutes. It's the best thing ever. So if you're wanting to do weight loss, we recommend that you do 2 meal replacement shakes a day. So usually breakfast and lunch. Depending on your schedule, we can help you tweak that individually with your consultant if your schedule's different. But so you don't have to think about those things. You already know what snacks you can have. So if you get hungry, eat, great. All you have to do is eat the right things. So this is what helps you. Love it. I love it because I feel full. It's just the best thing ever. Okay, second way that we get through the day, especially when people are coming off of pops and coffee, are these little babies right here. I don't know if you can see it. This is a fizz stick. This saves my life. It's like everything a person wants in life because it's our natural energy drink. It doesn't have any bad stuff in it though, so it gives you about 5 hours of clear-headedness, and I love it, love it, love it. Our staple flavors that we have are citrus and pomegranate, so those are the ones that we can get all the time, and every now and then we get fancy ones too. So this helps you get through the day. It also helps naturally suppress your appetite. It's got all your B vitamins in it. It's got guarana. It's got a little bit of green tea extract for a little bit of natural caffeine, but oh my gosh, it's just wonderful. And it actually helps alkaline your body as well, which is like the best news ever because of what we talked about before. Okay, so that is how you get through the day. Okay. Then the rest of the products that are with the set that you need to go through this are all focused on toxin elimination, because remember we talked about that earlier. Super, super important to maintain weight loss and to feeling your optimal self so that you don't have all those crazy symptoms that we talked about. So one of them is Digestion Plus. And this is probably one of the most important ones because as a society, Americans' guts are really messed up because of the overprescription of antibiotics and because of the overconsumption of sugar. And so we have overgrowth in yeast in our belly. And I read a paper once that said it takes 3 years for your gut flora to get back to normal after you take 1 round of antibiotics. So this is actually a patented probiotic, and it also has prebiotics which help the probiotic survive. It feeds it until it gets down in your gut where it actually needs to live, and it's enzymes for digestion. And so what this does is because your gut health is so important. If you haven't seen that, like seeing stuff online, seeing stuff on the TV, people are starting to understand over 80% of your immune system is in your gut, and it's also where a lot of your serotonin is produced, which is your mood stabilizers, all that sort of stuff is produced in your gut. People, it regulates sleep, all sorts of things. So people have problems with all sorts of this kind of stuff all the time, and they have no idea that it's really because their gut isn't healthy. So super important. Fiber. Fiber is, we have an odorless, tasteless fiber that we put in our shakes, or you can put in anything else that you want to sneak fiber in for your family. But we do not eat enough fiber as a society, and it's a sponge for toxins, and it helps us feel full. So that's one reason why it's super important. Let me think what else. Oh, detox tea. I'm actually on a trip right now, and I was going to have a detox tea, and I drank all my detox teas. But it's a tea that really helps naturally with your, get your toxins out gently every single day. It's got milk thistle in it, which is specific for your liver health. And I actually had a person use this detox tea all by itself a long time ago, and they said, I lost 7 pounds last month on that detox tea. And I was like, you did? And I didn't understand, because, you know, when you get flush the toxins out, then your body can release a lot of the fat, because it's just storage for toxins. So super big deal. And if you guys don't know very much about Arbonne, we are a company that formulates our products in Europe. So that means that there are a lot higher ingredient standards. There are a lot higher standards of what is not in our products. And that's actually what I'm most proud of, usually, is what is not in our products. And just for example, a skincare product in America, there are only 10 ingredients that are illegal to put in there in America. In Europe, it's like 1,300, and it grows all the time. 1,300 ingredients that they do not think are safe. And in America, it's only 10. So if it doesn't rot your face off, it's fine. And that's the way that there's nothing regulating our supplement industry either. So if you run into supplements that are made in the United States, they are not going to be the same caliber, the same quality, and there's not going to be as safe for you and your family as products that are formulated in Europe. We make them here in the United States, but they're formulated over there. So super, super important. Okay, so there are 3 ways that anyone can be a part of Arbonne. The first way is by buying things at full price. I don't know why anyone would do that, but you have the option to, because it's a free country. But we try to help you save money. 45-day money-back guarantee on everything Arbonne has. That means you can go through this program. If you hate it, you can get your money back. No questions asked. We have a less than a 1% return rate, and that should speak for itself. Pretty impressive. The second way is to save money. So for $29, like Arbonne had this figured out before Amazon Prime, before it's kind of like the combination between a Sam's card and an Amazon Prime membership, but it's only $29. So what this does is it helps you purchase at a discount, so you get at least 20% off on your products. You can get up to 40%. The set of stuff that you need to go through this program is 40% off to you. And then you get a free product on top of that, which actually makes it end up being closer to 50% off. You get free shipping. You get we can teach you how to get free shipping and a free product in every single order that you order. It's amazing. So that's great for people that are purchasing Arbonne, because they get a great deal, and we can feel really good about offering that to our friends and family. It's also great for us as a business, because we do not keep stock in our homes, and we're not running around all night to deliver products, because that allows us to have customers in all sorts of different states, different countries. We're in 9 different countries. And so, I mean, we would never be able to operate a business like that if we had to run around and just deliver stuff. It would totally limit what we could do. The third way that you can be a part of Arbonne is by being a consultant, and there's 3 ways that people use their consultant ID numbers. First is just to get the extra discount for themselves. That set to do this program is 50% off with a consultant ID number. Second way is by ordering things for your friends and family, and you can help kind of support your own Arbonne habit. And the third way is by using this to make money. So I'm just going to run through super fast the 4 levels of management, because I'm going to tell you this. You're going to go through this program, and if you do what we coach you to do, you are going to feel different. You are going to look different. People are going to be asking you, what are you doing? you're going to be wanting to tell people like, oh my gosh, I feel so amazing. Like, you have to listen to this. You have to look at this. And that is how the majority of us have started our businesses. It's almost been on accident because so many people ask you. And this is a grassroots movement of people that want to be well and that want to educate other people and teach people a life skill. This isn't a set of magic products that just helps you lose weight. This is so much more than that. This is actually information that you cannot afford not to have. Like, you really can't. Your health can't afford it. So anyway, the 4 levels of management. The first level, you make anywhere from $200 to $1,000. That's not bad. For a lot of American families, that is really making ends meet. And we teach you how to do that in a month or 2. Super exciting. Second level, we teach you to get there pretty quick too. Average is anywhere from $1,000 to $4,000 a month. And in Oklahoma, that replaces teachers' salaries. Like, they need this many years to get a degree to make that much to teach. We teach too, but this is something that you do in the nooks and crannies of your day, especially in a busy lifestyle. People that are busy are best at this. But what happens at that second level is that you can actually will your business to your family for 3 generations. Think about that. I stopped and I thought, oh my gosh, I wish you would have said this earlier because I would have listened a little bit better. But that means it's potentially hundreds of years of income that you can build for your family. It's an asset that you build. So it's amazing. The third level, so those are the first 2. The top 2 levels of Arbonne, you get a Mercedes to drive. They give you $800 and $1,000 a month to drive whatever white Mercedes you want. It's a very nice perk. It's not why a lot of us start this business, but it certainly is nice. The average income at that third level is anywhere from $4,000 to $14,000 a month. That is what allowed me to step away from full-time nursing and to do this, because I feel like I actually serve people more doing this. So it's pretty awesome. And the national vice president is the top level of our company. The average at that level is about $22,000 a month. And that is, that's really life-changing income for almost everybody that I know. Or for, there are a lot of people that have the golden handcuffs. They make great incomes, but they do not have time to spend with their families. And I'll tell you guys this, just like I'm passionate about, helping people with their health and, this whole movement, and time is something that you can never get back. Never, no matter how much money you have. So it is the most precious commodity that we have. And, some people have that, but they don't have the money to be able to make the choices that they want to. And it's a total life changer if people want it to be. It doesn't have to be. People don't have to do the business at all. People can just want to change their health. We help people wherever they are at. We are not pushy at all. We just need to know what you want from us and how we can help you. So thank you so much for watching this. I'm going to be posting the packages of what you need to go through this program. The way that the Facebook groups open is they open a week ahead of time. So we have a big group that's opening on the 1st. Everyone will start together on the 8th of January. And we'll have some others that start in January too. So thank you guys so much for your time. I certainly hope that you learned something, and because that's what we're here for. Love you guys. Bye-bye.